So guys, hello again. This time in this video, I would like to talk about Scotland. Scotland. so, I want to talk about Scotland as a tourist because I've talked about China since I lived there, and I'm Brazilian, so I talked about being an English teacher in Brazil. But I have been to Scotland as a tourist only, so that's my point of view. So it's a very beautiful place. It's a very nice place to go. If you want to go there, you should go. It's a very, very nice place to go. The weather. The weather. I've been there during winter. I've got a few friends that have been there during summer. Summer there is not very hot. Like 16 degrees Celsius or something, or 19. It could be considered winter in Brazil, for example, this temperature. But anyway, during winter it's quite cold. There's a lot of snow, so if you want to see snow, maybe you're from a country where there is no snow around, so if you want to go there during winter, you probably will see a lot of snow. About touristic places, I went to Edinburgh. It's funny, the city, the capital of Scotland, you write it like Edinburgh, but the way they say the name, they say Edinburgh, the way they pronounce it. And I'm going to talk about the accent in a minute. But anyway, the city is very beautiful. The architecture, that medieval houses constructed using rocks. It's like being a medieval movie, you know. The castle, there's a big castle in the city. It's a very historical place. You go there, there is a museum, there's a war museum, there is a museum. There is a part of the castle that you will find the jewelry of the crown. I think it's before it was a part of the United Kingdom. Before that, Scotland had their own kings and queens, right? So Princess Street, the gardens. In Princess Street, you can find lots of stores to buy stuff. Like if you want to buy clothes in Primark, or all those famous trends, you know. And outside of the city, every time I went there, I've gone to, like my wife went with me, so we went to the Highlands. The Highlands is an area full of mountains. They call it like the Scottish Alps. Of course, there aren't any Alps in Scotland, but they call it like that. And if you like nature, if you like landscapes, you can go there. There are some companies that you can get in a bus and they take you there. There are many different ways to go, like you can visit Loch Ness. They don't say lake in Scotland, they say Loch. It's the old Scottish language, they still use this name, but Loch means lake. So if you want to visit Loch Ness, if you want to visit the city of Inverness, they take you there too. They take you to Stirling Castle. It's a very beautiful castle too. It's a bit different from Edinburgh Castle, because the castle in Edinburgh, it's inside the city. The Stirling Castle, there is Stirling, there is a castle, but you can see a very long landscape that extends to outside of the city. I haven't been to Glasgow. People say it's a very nice place too. The people, let's talk about the people in Scotland. The people there are so nice. They are incredibly nice. I remember the first day we just arrived in the city and we're at the hotel, and there was this restaurant just on the right side of the hotel, and we went there, and we were talking to the waitress, and she was giving us so many tips about how to buy bus tickets, what time to take the buses, explaining that there are tickets that you use for one trip, tickets that you can use for the whole day. And we were very pleased that she was giving us these tips. Then she left, and out of nothing, one of the the other guests in the restaurant, she came to us and said, "Oh, I overheard you. You are the tourists, the ones who just arrived, right?" And we said, "I was with my wife," and we said, "Yes." And she said, "No, I have a ticket. You can use mine. This ticket you can use the whole day. I won't use it, but since you just arrived, you can use it." And this is just one example. They're so nice. They go out of their ways to help you. It's like they guess what you're thinking. They can read your mind when you need help. And the accent, huh? People get little bit scared about the accent. Like, oh my God, the accent's so difficult, even for native English speakers. Maybe if you're not a native English speaker and you're going there to study English, or your English is not that good yet, you're still not fluent. I met two girls when I was there with my wife. We met two girls from Brasilia, the city that is near my hometown. It was a big coincidence. We met them there, and they were still studying English. They hear, oops, notifications here. Sorry, and they were having a hard time trying to understand what people are saying. And I mean, I've been speaking English for 14 years, maybe almost 15 years now. So we had to help them translating stuff. But it's not that difficult. If you speak English, maybe people tend to exaggerate when they talk about Scotland, but it's not that hard. Anyway, there is some difference between like the accent from Edinburgh and the accent from Glasgow. I remember this driver, one of the drivers that took us to the mountains. She was from Glasgow, and her accent was very similar to that one. You guys know that Disney movie Brave? If you watch that movie, you see the characters, they have a Scottish accent. And this driver, she had an accent like that, and she was from Glasgow. So I guess that if you watch the Brave movie, that accent is an accent from Glasgow. The accent from Edinburgh, it depends, especially older people. Sometimes they switch, switch in our point of view, of course. They switch the pronunciation of S for SH, like this one, they say this one here, instead of saying this one here. But I didn't find it very difficult. Even the driver, the other driver that had an accent from Edinburgh, he was like speaking very slowly, and he told himself like, "Oh, this is not my usual accent. I am speaking slowly so everyone can understand." It was very funny the way he spoke. And but so don't be afraid of the accent. People like to make jokes and exaggerate. It's not that hard. And anyway, I have been to Scotland as a tourist, so that's my point of view. I haven't lived there, but that's some tips I have, and I encourage you to go there. It's a very beautiful place. You like it. I never met someone who said, "Nah, I didn't like Scotland." Who is this person? So this one was about Scotland. So I hope you like this video. If you liked it, like it. If you don't like my video, tell me why you didn't like my video in the comments. Okay, so that's it. Bye.